Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And what a time we're going to have today. So Nancy and I met, I think it was the very first time, Nancy, that you got on live stream of any kind.
Yes.
So is that correct?
That is correct. That is exactly how it happened. We met my very first time being live, and and I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know it was going to come out of my face either. So it was exciting.
Well, and look how you've blossomed and you've grown and you've expanded some things. So it's really amazing to watch you, and I just applaud your tenacity and your ability to join into the live streaming and put yourself out there and help so many people. So as a business, you actually are a speech therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So I, my producer, Tracy, I ramble a lot on occasion, and it's like, sometimes my brain travels faster than my mouth can keep up. Mm-hmm. And so it's like those things that you want to say, but you can't get it out. And so it's like, okay, I can relate to speech therapy. So slow down and relax and, just put it out there. But at the same point, it doesn't matter. I'm here, I'm helping, I'm putting it out. So.
Yeah. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is that no one speaks perfectly all the time. I say that a lot to people who struggle with fluency disorders, and they're worried, they're hypersensitive to the bobbles and the missteps in their speech. It's like, none of us speaks perfectly all the time. And then how would we maybe be able to make fun of each other if we didn't misstep and say the wrong word and, become some ongoing joke?
Yeah. It's like, just be comfortable with who you are. And I think that's really what you amplify in what I see a lot of times is being comfortable with who you are, the journey that you've taken, and the results that are arriving as a result of our experience. Yeah. It's so important.
It really is. And I keep reminding myself that everything happened just because I showed up. Yeah. Like, statistically, what has happened for me in the last 8 months of being on LinkedIn shouldn't have happened, right? Should not happen. I should not, have the success I'm having. But I didn't know what I was doing, and that's why it worked. So I didn't know anything about the algorithm and that I wasn't supposed to share because it's different native. I didn't know all that. I just showed up. Yeah. And I think that's really important for people to understand, that showing up and starting is the most important part, not waiting for it to be perfect. I had no plan coming onto LinkedIn. No clue where it was going to go. And I could not have imagined this for myself. I really didn't have the ability to envision this. I didn't even know that, being a host of a live stream show was a possibility. Creating a program to help others, find their inner voice, find their passion, and let it shine and come to life. Didn't know that was a thing. That I was going to hashtag radiating real, creating a movement, a hashtag. These were things I couldn't have even imagined, truly. And so showing up is the most important part.
Yeah. And it's so critical to, I think, in my opinion, to share the fact that we all have an opportunity to share our gifts. We all have an opportunity to share what we are passionate about. And there's somebody out there, there's probably more than one person out there that wants to find a story that they can relate to and understand that, wow, I can understand and appreciate that. That sounds just like me. Yeah. I feel connected with that. I resonate with that. And I think that you amplify that idea, that exemplify the concept of just go, start, and keep going. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes a huge difference.
Thank you. And I mean, stories are affirmations. They affirm, that our lives matter. They affirm that we are more similar than different, that we're not alone. And so sharing your story is a big deal. And everyone has an important story, right? It's going to resonate with someone or someone's, more likely. And when I started sharing my story, I didn't see anything remarkable about it because it was my story. I had lived it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I kept getting feedback from other people that I realized, wow, what I'm doing is making a difference. What I'm doing is something that other people don't do. And people are craving and wanting to hear, and it's making a difference for people. So again, just tell your story, even if you don't think, it has much value. It does. And if you just need some feedback for the community, tell your story. It's going to come back to you. Someone's going to reach out and say, thank you. That made such a difference, and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Our DNA is tied to the story of, who we are, how we got here, the journey that we've taken, and the information that we can share with other people. So it's, you've got a huge community here blowing us up here. It's like, okay, Tim's here.
Hey.
Good morning, friends. Brian's here. Going, yeah, amazing. And then Tim says, you have blossomed, Nancy. Absolutely. Tim, thank you so much. Another pirate here. Tim's, hi, Nancy. Top of the morning. Brian says, oh, yeah, this is going to be amazing. Again, KD, saving the flavor. The awesomeness in you.
Oh, you found a way to be here, KD. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you, friends. Thank you so much. Buenos dias, Brian Schuleman. And Jeff Young is here. Jeff, good morning.
Hi, Jeff.
If you're going to meet someone on live, Nancy, Russ is a great one to meet.
Oh, absolutely.
Long time. You both look amazing. Nancy, thank you, Brian. Brian Schuleman, thank you for being here. Tim, say love.
Lurv. I got to say lurv.
Russ, John, saving the flavor, the awesomeness in you, and sharing your delectable thoughts with us today. It just keeps going.
I love it. Yeah, I saw Jenny Gold. I saw Elise, who I've interacted with in the comments due to your show, like from your show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a million people. And honestly, they are the ones I need to thank, because I couldn't show up, but it's not until your community gathers and you find them that it has meaning. That's really, really it. So thank you everyone for being here, especially those of you who are on my coast. And it's a little bit early, and we are live. Brian said that it's saying previously live, but we're live.
No, we're live. It's early. I meant good morning.
I'll take happy birthday.
So what is on the horizon for Nancy in your journey? Because I know, things are, in transition. You're adding a lot of influence and information and, support into your community. And I know it's growing, it's continuing to grow. And so give us kind of a vision of what Nancy's thinking and what you're anticipating.
So what I'm anticipating and what's going to happen may be different, but I know the universe will work it all out, because the universe has a way of laughing at our plans and
put it out there.
Yeah, always finding it some other way to enhance it. But I just did my first keynote address in July, and it was just exhilarating and empowering, and people were coming up to me afterwards sharing their story, and I realized that's one of the ways I want to be able to reach people, because I love doing my live shows, but in person, when someone can come up to a person afterwards, and really have a conversation, especially about some of the topics I talk about. And for your audience that doesn't know, and I'll just give you the quick version and let you know that my story is hard to receive. But I was sexually abused till I was 16 years old by my grandfather. I was anorexic for years. I have suffered from major depressive episodes and still, quote unquote, deal or live with my depression from day to day. So there's a lot there. And for people, I love the response and the interaction online, and I would never give that up, because I couldn't reach all of those people in person, but there is something also to in person. So I in the future, I plan to continue doing those keynote addresses. I am continuing to energize the Radiating Real movement. That is near and dear to my heart, which is that hashtag Radiating Real, where it came from me really in the last 7 months. 100% committing to being 100% me 100% of the time. And I knew what a difference that made for me, how I could stand taller, weight was lifted, and I just felt so much better. My energy completely shifted, and wanting to share that with other people and giving them permission and allowing them to receive the same unconditional love and acceptance that I had. So that's out there. The other thing that's coming on now is the Chick with the Toolbelt, and this is a hard place for me. The Chick with the Toolbelt is a program where it really helps people discover their inner selves, uncover their passion, find their voice. How do they want to use it? And it can be anywhere. I mean, it seems to be right now, it's about people, especially after the pandemic, sort of wanting to be more real and wanting to figure out how do I incorporate that into what I'm doing, often on social media or starting, a business. And I had the most wonderful compliment from someone I worked with using, the program. She said to me, she goes, when we started talking and you said I was going to have to post on social media, I had a moment of panic because I thought, I don't have anything important. I don't have anything to say. But by the end of our call, I feel like I have a year's worth of posts that I can share with people. Because she was only thinking about a business level and not sharing herself and who she is and all the things that had brought her to that place. And so the Chick with the Toolbelt is super exciting because I get to be in that place with someone when they discover it, when they have their aha moment, and the privilege of seeing them come to life. And basically, it's just tools that I've had and conversations I've had with people that I've asked them to reflect back to me, what was it about it, and pulled it all together. And where it's difficult for me is, in creating a new business, marketing it, not because I don't believe in it, not because I don't believe that my value in delivering it, but I have a hard time asking people, right, to pay me. It's been an issue in my private practice as well. I was always very lucky. My reputation was out there. I had good referral sources. I didn't have to ask. And so this is a new challenge for me in opening and growing up to say, what, I have something to offer that I know will help people. And I want it to be, speaking and Chick with the Toolbelt. And there's a book down the line, but I want this to be my career, not my side hustle. And in order for that to happen, I need to step into the uncomfortable of saying, hey, jump on my Calendly. Let's start a phone call, have a consultation. Where do you want to be? And then talk about where this goes in the business end of it, because ultimately I have to keep a roof over my head. And I wish I didn't have to, quote unquote, monetize my passion. But the reality is I have to eat, keep a roof over my head. And I choose to live in Los Angeles, and that's expensive to do, which is my responsibility. But every time I step into those roles, I feel alive. I feel energized. I feel it's just if anyone out there, when you step into your passion, you know what I'm talking about, and it may just defy words, but I'm straddling that line right now. And that's really hard. Yeah. Really, really hard.
Yeah. Think of it this way though. And this is some of the things I have to reflect on as well, because I'm in the same situation. I love helping people, and it's always amazing to be able to help more people and sharing, this live streaming concept and content creation and marketing and all of the things that go along with that. However, the other side of it is if you exchange that value for money, you can actually help more people.
That's true.
And by not sharing it with more people, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing your community a disservice.
That's true.
So it's framing it, I think, is and I'm bad. I'm terrible at it, actually. And so I'm going through the same thing. So it's really interesting that we're talking about this, because step back and think about what the feeling was when you decided that you wanted to get real. You wanted to put yourself into that situation and be that 100% of the time. And that feeling was scary at first, and then it became comfortable, and then you became more available to people. More people were exchanging ideas with you. So think of that, and then think about how that could be for other things.
This is why we love Russ Johns, right? That's exactly it. Getting to that point of saying to myself, what's my intent? It's to help people. How do I do that? Well, it includes, monetizing this and being paid to do it so I can help other people, more and more people. Yeah. So thank you for that. That was, again, why we love Russ Johns and love being a pirate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of the community is to be able to share with the community.
Yes.
broadcast and share our ideas and our thoughts, because somebody out there is suffering and they need to know that there's a way that they can get through it and process this information.
And I think the radiating real comes in how we tell our stories too. And that's critical. If I had seen me speaking now, when I was going through the thick of it, my teens and 20s, I would have hated me. Who are you? You're perfect. You're fine. You're happy. You've been through it. You don't understand what it's like. But you know what? That's why I have to talk about the snotty, unsexy parts. Mm-hmm. Because knowing what someone went through to get here can give you hope, right? Knowing that I did the same things that other people out there are doing. I cried myself to sleep on my bathroom floor. I have gone days without showering. I have lied to people and told them I have plans because I don't want to go out and I don't want anyone on my back because I'm not happy. I'm not feeling it. I'm not wanting to be social. I'm wanting to isolate. And so if we skip all of the middle, then I think we really are doing a disservice, because yes, who I am now is important. Yes, who I am now allows me to connect with people and have that place of saying, no, I really do understand. And it allows me to say, look, it's possible. But at the same time, here's what happened. Like, here's what got me here. And it wasn't pretty. We all have this invisible report card that we like to, give ourselves grades on different things compared to other people. And again, radiating real, we're hurting one another. When people go on, I thought I was failing at divorce. I didn't even know you could fail at divorce until I was in the middle of it. And I felt like I was failing because everyone around me who had gone through a divorce made it look so, for lack of, graceful, right? But I didn't see what was going on behind the scenes. And so when I was experiencing it, I thought there was something wrong with me. Yeah. Do I question my decision? Is it something about me? Am I not strong enough to do this? Because everybody else I know was able to do this, seemingly easily.
Yeah.
So again, how we tell our story and the parts we choose to share, that's hugely impactful.
I have so many, examples of that in my own life, as does everyone who has actually lived life. And one of the things that you have to think about is all of the challenges that we've experienced during our life. It makes up the fabric of who we are. And we can't be who we are, and we can't fully shine until we have accepted all of the adventures and challenges and discomfort and those moments where you don't know what to do. You feel 100% broken. And, I've been at the point of suicide, been homeless, all of these things have happened to me. And that is exactly what makes it okay, right, for me to be okay.
Yeah, we see each other where we are in the journey now.
Yeah.
And we only know as much of a person's story as they're willing to share. So again,
10 years for my overnight success.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 47 years later, I finally figured out what I want to do, and it came to me.
You figured it out? I can't believe it.
Well, I figured it out for today. Because if you would have asked me 2 months ago, I was struggling with, well, how do I monetize my passion? Because I don't want to step out of this. I don't want to have to keep leaving this to go to something else that just doesn't feed my soul the same way. It doesn't nurture me the same way. And I kept trying and trying to figure it out. And quite frankly, the universe showed me, because I didn't force a decision. I just kept going, talking to people and doing, quote unquote, the Chick With The Toolbelt program without knowing it.
Yeah.
Created, right? And then it found me. It found me. And so, yes, today I know what I want to do. Might that change tomorrow? Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, what experiences. Yeah. But I absolutely am grateful for what I went through. And having shared my story, I have a deeper gratitude for it, because I now see beyond me.
And the more that you share that story, the clearer the message becomes. And that folds into your speaking engagements, because that keynote is going to be crystal clear and concise. And the message that you want to deliver and the one that resonates with people, there'll be alignment there.
And there's alignment in all that I'm doing without thinking about it. I reflect back and I'm like, wait a second. Okay, so my keynote is all about taking the masks off. and all the different masks I've worn throughout my life. And then tying in, what happened was Radiating Real and Chick With The Toolbelt. From all of it, it's all the same place of like finally being able to see all those masks, because I was skillful at creating them. Most of us are.
Yes.
I like to say I was a skilled illusionist, maybe a delusionist, but also an illusionist. And there were times in my life where I fooled me. Like even I didn't see the mask I was wearing. And to be honest about the fact that I try them on from time to time, it's not that I don't have those moments of like going back to a place and experiencing it again, but giving myself an opportunity to live through it differently, use the new skills I have. But I joke, it's like that beautiful pair of shoes you have in the closet. They're gorgeous and you really want them to be comfortable. Yeah. And you'll try them on and you'll think you're leaving the house. And before you leave the house, they're so painful, you can't take another step. It's the same with the old masks that we wear. Yeah. You get to a point where they don't fit and they don't feel good. And the known of wearing the mask becomes less comfortable than the unknown of being real.
Yeah.
And then that unknown of being real actually shows itself to be known pretty quickly.
The beautiful thing about it is at first, when we decide to make those changes in our life, the mask feels natural. And then the more we become real, it feels more unnatural. And
people react to it. Yeah. I will say, my divorce was one of those aha moments where I was like, this is so like this mask that I've been wearing is so uncomfortable. I can't do it anymore. And I don't know what comes from me being real and talking about sharing my truth and living in my truth. And there were some consequences that were painful, quite frankly. People around me and a lot of people are not comfortable with you being 100% real, not wearing a mask because your mask feeds their mask.
Yeah.
And if you're real, it's bumping up against their comfort. You're not fitting into it the way they like. And it does upset people and make them uncomfortable. But you know what? There's a point where I decided, like, who am I responsible for? Who am I obligated to? Who am I honoring? Am I honoring me or everyone else around me who's going to be uncomfortable if I continue down a path that's slowly killing me? Right? And lots of times we're taught, nope, it's everybody else around you. That's you're supposed to keep everybody happy because
make sure everybody's okay.
Make sure everybody's okay.
It doesn't matter if I am or not.
Right, exactly. You feel good. You're happy. This is comfortable for you. Great. I can, especially because of my experience, I can live in that discomfort. That's no problem. I can live in that discomfort. I can live on breadcrumbs. I can ignore my gut. I can lose my voice, but I won't. I'm unwilling to. One of the things that came to me when I was writing my keynote is I want to be real, was what I said originally. And what I realized is, no, I'm meant to be real.
You're born to be real.
Yeah, that's what I was always meant to be. I was born to be real. I was born to be me.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's a revelation, right?
It just took a little bit.
Yeah, it took a little bit. It took a little bit and well worth it. Well worth it.
I want to ask you before we go away, what prompted you to become a speech therapist?
I had taken a summer class. It's a great program. I don't know if it still exists at Wellesley College, where, as a sophomore, junior, senior in high school, you could go live in the dorms in the summer. There were classes in the morning taught by university students. Mm-hmm. And then you had the afternoon to yourself. So it was sort of this fun little foray into a supervised college experience. And one of the classes I took was sign language. And it was taught by a woman who was deaf. And I was fascinated by the fact that we could communicate without knowing the same language.
Yeah.
And that I could step into her perspective and I could see what it was like. And again, that communication piece. And subconsciously, I lost my voice when I was very young. I didn't get to say what I wanted. I didn't get to say what was on my mind. It was an option, but it wasn't. It was just part of that abuse cycle where people ask me all the time, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you just say no? Well, it wasn't even a thought. When you're in it, it's a whole different thing than looking at it from the outside. Right. And I had lost my voice. And so subconsciously, along with this, ignited interest and passion of mine of this communication piece, it was to give people a voice. It was to give people that opportunity, to give people, communication, man, whatever the form, whether you're speaking, you're signing, you're using a communication system that speaks for you, a pointing board, whatever it is, but communication is so central to everything we do. And again, that was another place where I had the privilege and honor to help people find their voice.
Yeah.
In a different way than I'm doing now, but nonetheless powerful.
Well, don't you see the parallel between then and now?
Yes, I can. Looking back, I didn't at the time. Same parallel that I chose to work in an area in Los Angeles where trauma is the rule, not the exception.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that those kids, I got it. And so when a kid was tearing up a classroom and everybody else wanted to think of him as a bad kid and yell at them and do this power trip, I would show up for kids that I never knew. And I would sit in the room on a chair with my back to the door and just be there, be like, wow, this is big. This is a big feeling. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. When you're ready, we can talk. Because every other adult did exactly what that kid wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Gave up on them and left. And I could stay and I could be in it and I could be comfortable with it. And understanding it without understanding it, looking back, I know it was my trauma that made it okay to be in that space with someone and to understand that that's where it was coming from. And I say all the time about my kids, especially with those communication disorders, if they had a better way to do it, they would. It doesn't feel good to do it this way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to be misunderstood. So that's what got me into being a speech pathologist.
Yeah. I think I just see that as being there's a connection there, and I just want to make sure that you recognize the value in the work that you do.
Thank you.
And the message you share. So just
thank you. Yeah, my specialty is social cognition. So again, allowing people to create those interpersonal relationships, build community, and have that connection. It is all there, and I might not have seen it at the time.
Yeah.
But it was all right in front of me. Again, I love to say that it's already happened. I'm just catching up to it. Like the universe has it all done for me. I'm just catching up. It was all waiting for me.
Throw out the intention and you'll arrive eventually.
Yep. It was waiting for me to show up all along.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for being here. It's been an amazing journey, Nancy. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you.
You know, I was there at the beginning, and I will continue to support you along your journey. Anything I can do to add value to your day, your year, your life, more than happy to do so. And there's so many others that are here as well, supporting you. And so continue.
I'm so
to do
very
great
grateful.
work.
So very fortunate. And, if it wasn't you, Russ, that day, who knows if I would have felt comfortable doing it. So thank you for being you and for having me here and for making me a pirate. This is like the things a girl dreams of.
Yes. Well, hopefully most people think of being a pirate is a good thing. So we'll change the dynamic and make sure that everybody appreciates it. So thank you so much. And everybody there's lots of comments here, and I'll go back in and, reply to people as I can throughout the day. And thank you so much for being here. And everybody, how do you want people to connect with you, Nancy? How do you want people to reach out to you?
If you're on LinkedIn, that's probably the easiest, most straightforward. A Calendly, you can always set up. It's the Calendly link, calendly.com/Nancy Barrows, NancyBarrows, or email me. If you're not finding me on a platform, email me. It's again, nancy.d.barrows@gmail.com. And I can drop that in the comments. And I'm surprised if by the time I go to do it, it's not already in there, because I know that Brian Schulman will.
There's somebody there.
We'll make sure it's there. And if you're having trouble finding me, Russ knows how to.
Yeah. Well, all of the contact information and the links will be in the post on russjohns.com.
Perfect.
/pirate broadcast. So it'll be up there. Podcast, broadcast. If you like, comment, and share this content because Nancy needs to get the word out. She deserves to have an audience because of her message is so powerful and so compelling. And connect. Pirates connect. That's what we're here for. That's why we're here. Because you know why? Kindness is cool and smiles are free. So you enjoy the day, everyone. Take care, be well, and be in touch. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.